really just I just
Well, and then they didn't throw to him at all in the first half, and then it was like try and force him the ball the whole second half. It's like that's not going to work. Like
no, I don't know. They can't seem to get him. They had the whole preseason to get him into the playbook, and they seemingly can't figure out how to do it. I don't know. It's getting aggravating because week 1 I was like, oh, they figured it out already, and then he just has gone vanish since week 1. So
yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to try and move him for cheap if I have to. I'm just done. I even tried to get Josh Palmer in one league for him, but the guy said no, and I was like, damn it.
I have all but 3 players on my bench on bye week this week in our league.
I have more defenders than I've ever had on my bench, but that's because they're all ranked in the top 6 in scoring, and they're all on bye. So I was like, I'm not letting any of them go.
Yeah, you can't.
No, I'm sorry. I picked up Marquise Bell from the Cowboys. He's not top 6, but he has put up 7 points in back-to-back weeks. So I'm like, all right, he's arriving, so I'll hold him. But yeah, my team's not all on bye, but I was debating in our league. I kind of forgot Calvin Ridley was playing Thursday because I was debating all week, Romeo Doubs or Calvin Ridley for my last receiver spot. And when the game started, I was like, fuck, I meant to put in Doubs because I just have a feeling against the Broncos, the Packers are going to put up 35 points. And I was like, I forgot. And Ridley is killing me and everything.
Yeah, he's pretty bad.
But in Dylan and Durf's, the reason I traded Mahomes was because I was like, I got Richardson to cover for Stroud's bye week, so I'll be all right. And now Stroud's bye week is here, and I'm like, I have no one. And then after Baker's performance last week, since I picked up Baker, I was like, I don't feel comfortable in this. So I am taking a risk because I'm already pretty bad off in their league. So I'm taking a risk, and I'm rolling with Taysom
Baggett or whatever. Taysom Baggett. I'm
rolling him.
Where this is going to be an Chan thing, right?
Yep. No idea how to say his name.
No.
All I know is his dad wrestled Tom Pelissaro in college. That's all I know. He's going to have 65 people in attendance in today's game.
Wow.
In one little group. I was like, dude, I don't think I could get 65 people in attendance for my own funeral, let alone a football game.
No. If I did that, I'd be paying a bunch of dudes in suits to show up.
Right?
Italian, so my parents thought I did something with my life.
Apparently they all attended, all 65 of them, their friends and family and relatives, because he's from West Virginia, so I just assume they're crazy. They all attended the Bears-Commanders game in D.C. when he wasn't even playing. And I was like, oh, I can't imagine how annoying, nonsense-filled they're going to be now that he is the starter for a couple weeks.
Yeah.
But good for him. I'm excited to see how he does. I don't know. There was rumors that they were leaning his way if Fields didn't work as it was. So, I don't know. He's Division II, so you never really know what you're going to get out of him. Last week he did throw the pick 6, but he settled down after that. So, I don't know. Brett Favre's first ever pass was a pick 6. It was preseason, but it was a pick 6.
I mean, Listen, if you're going to start off your career for the Bears, what better way?
Right? I can only imagine Jay Cutler's first throw was probably something terrible.
His first throw was a cigarette butt before he went in.
And he's the worst. I mean, he's statistically their best quarterback ever. So,
probably the best passing quarterback they've ever had. And that's not saying much, but fuck.
Somehow he's in the top 25 all time in passing yards, which is crazy to me.
Well, it kind of goes back to the stats, right? Harbaugh having more rush yards than Bo Jackson.
Yeah.
It's just a different time. Offense thrives now, and back then defense thrived.
Yeah, because he's only 1,800 yards behind Joe Montana or some shit, and I'm like, well, that's ridiculous.
Right, and then you go back to the Bears, 85?
Yeah, when they were the great team,
and then the Raiders with John Madden when he's like, oh, we're dirty. What are you gonna do about it?
Yep. Good old freaking John freaking Madden. I miss that man.
Oh God, that just the things he said, the things that came out of his mouth. Well, here's a guy that can run fast. It was just the simplest form, he could bring in anybody to a game.
I freaking loved him. I missed him. He retired from the booth like about a decade before he passed away, and it was just. I know it was good for him to enjoy some life, but man, football missed him so bad. And
Oh
now Chris
yeah,
Collinsworth tries to be that kind of dumb, but it's just not the same.
it's it's really hard. Like when you have guys like that, he's like Collinsworth isn't bad by any means. Don't get me wrong, but he does say some weird stuff.
Yeah, and he's obsessed with Patrick Mahomes, like Madden was with Favre, so it works out.
Yeah. Where do you want to start?
I want to start with what I'm going to talk more in depth about tomorrow. Caleb Williams, once again, does nothing for his USC team in back-to-back weeks. And I'm not saying he's bad, but I'm saying those who claimed he's better than Mahomes need to start coming back to reality. And I'm not saying he couldn't be better than Mahomes in the future, but the people who have already said he looks better than he'll ever play, like Jordan Palmer was on TV claiming he's going to come into the league and be top 6 immediately. And I'm like, can you calm down now?
I mean,
he played a pro-style defense 2 straight weeks and no touchdowns yesterday, 3 picks the week before. Like you see the skill set, but he's going to have struggles. Like coming in and going, he's going to be top 6 is just insane. Settle it down and understand that he's going to have growing pains. I said this to someone yesterday, and this isn't a bad thing. I think very highly of him. I think his floor is Donovan McNabb, which is borderline Hall of Fame as a floor. So I think he has the superstar potential. Just we need to stop acting like the fact that he thinks he should be a part owner when he joins the league is insane.
Yeah, well, that's you're gonna have that entitlement feeling from what is it? NIL, right? You're gonna get these kids coming in thinking they're the shit, and then they're gonna get to a point where everybody in that league was like one of the toughest guys in their town, one of the toughest athletes, one of the best athletes in their town growing up all the way through college. And then they get to the league and it's like, oh, rude awakening, bud. Everybody here's a pro, You just, all I can think of, I know they were both established pros at the time. Remember when Ocho Cinco ran into fucking Ray Lewis in the end zone when he tried to rub route him?
Yeah.
Like he's on the sideline kneeling. He's like, I ran into Ray by accident. I thought I could catch him off guard and blindside him, but I ran into him by accident. And he's like huffing and puffing. He's like, something's not right. Like that's what you're gonna get your head knocked off. Like and by the way, just get humbled quick because it doesn't last long. Look at Andrew Luck.
Lex wants to fight.
Listen, the NFL said they're going to crack down on fighting pre-game, so we have to fight after the game starts.
Oh, one last thing. Before we actually start making picks and talking football, since there's games today, don't push me away, Dot. Who is going to be the last team undefeated in the NHL? I'm curious.
In the NHL?
In your opinion. It's Bruins, Avs, and Knights are the only 3 left already because that's how good the NHL is. It's just anybody can lose to anybody.
I'd have to look at the schedules, to be honest.
Okay.
But
I was just curious if you had a guess.
Right now, if I was leaning, I'd probably lean with like the Knights.
I think they're going to be left.
Just looking at their body of work right now, like I don't know. But again, you run into one goaltender who stops everything you throw at him, and that fucking you're not undefeated anymore.
Yeah, Bruins play the Ducks today. The 24th is the day of Frozen Frenzy. Just so you guys are aware, I'll remind you tomorrow.
All the teams play, right? And they'll have the like NFL Red Zone of the NHL
version on ESPN. Yeah, I'm so excited for that.
Mm-hmm.
The Avs play the Islanders next, and the Knights play the Flyers. I don't know. It'll be a while. I think the Knights are going to probably last another week at least. They're really fucking good right now.
Yeah, and they're riding a high.
Yeah. They didn't come in sluggish like we see some teams do
Yeah,
after
the hangover,
championships. Yeah, they came in they're motivated, and it's so cool. But anyway, all right, football. We don't have as many games today. We've got the Bengals, Texans, Titans, Jets, Panthers, and Cowboys all on a bye, meaning we are 3 less games this week.
Yeah, and they're all 1 o'clock games, right? They subtract from 1 o'clock.
Yeah, because there's still 4 o'clock games. The week with 8 bye weeks, there's only 3, but every other week, yeah, there's at least 4 o'clock games. Which again, there's no one on bye next week either. It's just so weird that we have a week 8 without a bye.
Yeah, week 8, especially with nothing overseas.
Yeah, nothing overseas next week.
But maybe they wanted to do it that way because they have so many on bye this week, you know?
Yeah, and then there's the overseas.
Why wouldn't you just make next week like two of the teams here on bye?
Oh, so 6 is the most, and week 13 is the next with 6. Yeah, because I agree. Because there was 2 teams last week. There's 6 this week. There's nobody next week, and then there's 6 week 13, and then there's 2 week 14.
But maybe it's because of the travel overseas. They're trying to
we don't know whose stadium is available.
Minimize the damage and shit. Yeah.
Bills Patriots. Watch that one. Yeah. No. God no.
I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah, Don'll have it up, but
I'm gonna be sitting here like, damn. Mac just threw
man.
6.
All right, we can even. It's a 1 o'clock game, right? We can start with that one because there was news out of that game this morning for me and Rappaport. Apparently, during the summer, very quietly and privately, Bill Belichick this summer agreed to a multi-year extension with the New England Patriots. And I don't know why that just came out, but it just came out.
I don't think they wanted it out because
I thought they had to report those kind of financial deals to the NFL.
They can report them to the NFL. The NFL.
I just assumed. I guess I just assumed
they can ask the NFL for discretion.
I guess I just didn't know that because I thought the contract thing was just like a.
I think it was time to announce it, and I think in my opinion, hearing that, the thought was, okay, what is the game plan going forward? It was probably just something very private between Kraft and Belichick, and Belichick laid out a plan like, this is not it. Here's what we're going to do. I would like to know if Kraft kind of takes away some GM responsibility.
I'm actually a little curious of that myself, or maybe he has a deal in it. My thing is maybe he has a deal in it that he goes to GM and lets Bill O'Brien coach next year.
Yeah, I kind of want to understand what.
Are you actually hurt? I thought you were making a joke because you said you can't play football anymore.
All right, Lex Rogers.
Well, he's not on crutches.
I know. Okay.
He's already ahead of you, Lex.
Lex Robbins.
39-year-old Aaron Rodgers is ahead of you.
Lex Dobbins. He'll be off crutches next week. Yeah, this is going to be a very bad game for New England. I mean, just looking at the injury report.
No, all I know is Jack Jones is back. That's it. That's all I know.
He was activated. He was activated. Hi, Bug. I don't know. Uche's out.
It's a 7.5-point spread, and I'm all Bills. I'm going to be honest.
I got up and buckled ankle. Well, I roll my left ankle walking upstairs because I had 8 high ankle sprains on my left ankle playing hockey. So, yeah. Let me just go through the list. Tyrone Wheatley Jr., offensive tackle, injured reserve. Juju Smith-Schuster, out with a concussion. Hunter Henry, questionable with an ankle, but expected to suit up. Demario Douglas, wide receiver, questionable with a concussion, but he's probably out. Cody Davis, safety, questionable with a knee, activated from the reserve pup list ahead of Sunday's game. Riley Rafe, offensive tackle, placed on injured reserve Saturday with a knee injury. Jack Jones, questionable, was activated with a hamstring injury. Kayshon Boutte, questionable with a hamstring injury. Doesn't give any further Details: he's a wide receiver. Josh Uche, linebacker, out with a foot injury. Jonathan Jones, questionable with a knee injury. Mike on
get the injury report.
Wenyu, questionable with an ankle. Cole Strange, guard, questionable with a knee. Keon White, defensive end, out with a concussion. David Godchow, defensive tackle, questionable. Sean Wade, cornerback, questionable. Kyle Duggar, safety, questionable. Trent Brown, offensive tackle, questionable. David Andrews, center, questionable. Christian Barmore, defensive tackle, questionable. Matt
Jesus Christ, your
Judon,
whole team's injured.
Matt Judon, linebacker, placed on injury reserve on the 14th with a biceps injury, so he is done. And Christian Gonzalez is still on IR.
Okay, so Butte's out, Juju's out, Uche is out, Malik Cunningham is out, which is weird considering I heard he might get some more snaps. I don't know what's going on over there. Keon White is out, and Calvin Anderson are out. There's your inactive list. Will Greer is your emergency third quarterback. Malik Cunningham's not even that. They gave it to Will Greer.
I'd say you need to have faith, but I have faith in the Bills just blowing them out. I think this could be. I think this could be like the 41-6 game in the playoffs.
On the good side of things for you guys, Ed Oliver's out.
Yeah, I picked him up in a league and I had to drop him immediately because of that.
And then, of course, you're still without Matt Milano, but everyone else on the Bills that matters, except for Jermaine Ifedi, is out and is healthy.
And then the guys who they have on IR, right?
Yeah. But yeah, I'm going Bills, and I think they cover the spread. I know it's 7.5 points. It's a lot to say, but I think they cover.
You know my philosophy. I'm going Bills spread. Anything else, golden for me.
Yeah, I just
it hurts so bad. Weak ankles. Well, stop getting crossed over on the basketball court, and it wouldn't be.
Boogie, I don't know if you drink, but are you just waking up after that fucking blowout, that comeback game by the Diamondbacks? Did you just get drunk after watching that happen, and then just return to life? Sorry, I had to one time.
One time for the one time,
Before I forget that game even happened, I had to.
Yeah, but guess what? Last night they won 6-1. So
I know, and I got to go back to Philly, so it's probably going to get sealed in Philly. I know it's Friday. Well, I actually don't know what night it was. I thought it was.
Did you
Wednesday.
See that shot by Harper? That was fucking crushed.
But there's a really unfortunate chance that we're going back to the same World Series as last year. So. Because I know a lot of people forget last year's World Series was Astros Phillies and nobody watched it. It was one of the lowest watched World Series in baseball. And
nobody watched baseball anyways.
I mean, 2 years ago when it was Dodgers, who'd you guys play?
Was this the COVID year?
Who was 2021's World Series? I don't even remember. I don't know. It was the highest rated World Series in like a decade. But again, it's because no one wants to watch the Astros. We all know them for cheating now, so that we've all just kind of tuned them out. But I mean, that's a different era of the Astros now, technically. But we just all fucking hate the Astros. All right, so next 1 o'clock. Go ahead.
2021 was Braves Astros.
Oh, Braves Astros. Jesus God, they're always there.
Yeah, they've made 6 of the last 7, bro.
The American League needs to wake up.
Yeah, Altuve just has a fucking buzzer shoved up his ass, so he knows what pitch is coming. It's fine.
There was an Astro on a former Astro from the World Series win on every single team in the playoffs this year. That's nuts. They're just that good. I mean, their GM was that good at getting talent.
Or cheating.
They still had talent. I mean, they're good on other teams.
Yeah, but you can increase your talent by cheating, like the Patriots.
All right, so the next 1 o'clock game, my favorite 1 o'clock game, Ravens, Lions.
This is definitely. I think this might be the best game of the day.
That and Eagles, Dolphins. Yeah, I have to agree between those two games.
Eagles, Dolphins. I feel like could fall short. I feel like
it could.
I feel like this is an actual true matchup.
Yeah, I mean,
you don't know what Miami team you're going to get. Are you going to get Miami against the Bills, or are you going to get Miami like they've played?
And you don't know what Philly team you're going to get,
right?
they're 16th right now in defensive categories. Like they're
and the offense is sputtering. I mean, you just lost to the Jets, bro.
Yeah. Well,
even my team beat the Jets.
Yeah, Jalen Squirt's throwing 3 picks doesn't help, but we'll get there when we get to the Sunday night game. Lions Ravens 5-1 versus 4-2. The last time they faced each other is when Tucker kicked the longest field goal in NFL history to win the game.
I'd like it to happen that way again.
But that was in Detroit, in a closed, controlled environment. Now he's got to play in Baltimore where there's going to be some good
Did you see that ridiculous kick he had in warm-ups either last week or the week before?
Where it was like 72 yards?
It was almost 80.
Oh, no. He's nuts, dude. He really is he's as good as it comes at what he does. The one time he missed this season, I was like, it was the first game of the season. I was like, what if this is the start of the decline? And then he's been perfect since. And I was like, or not. Well, he's had 2 blocked because they actually have the 32nd ranked special teams in the NFL, which is interesting to note coming into a game against a team like the Lions, who actually play really well in special teams, and the Ravens have the worst. So that'll be interesting. No one ever talks about that being a potential game changer, but it could be. But anyway, 14-mile-an-hour winds today in Baltimore. Could get up to 25, so it might be a little windy down there in Baltimore today. Could impact the throwing. Doubt it. Goff has a cannon, and he's goddamn accurate. And Lamar, if he doesn't feel comfortable, will just run. This will be an interesting game.
Right now, Baltimore is 3-point favorite at home, and it's a 53.9% pick 'em in their favor. But I think the thing you have to look at is that Lamar hasn't thrown a multi-touchdown game in back-to-back weeks in the last 16 weeks.
Well, don't tell me that, because in DraftKings I took Zay Flowers and Mark Andrews to score today.
And Jared Goff has as many touchdowns in the last 2 games as Lamar has all season.
Yes, but the Ravens have the number 2 overall defense.
Okay, we got a question here. Tilly, Jonnu, Moss, Dobbs, or Henderson? I need 2.
Boy, I'm terrified of Henderson because I don't know what the Rams are doing. I don't know who their running back truly is going to be.
Romeo Dobbs. Who do the Packers play today?
The Broncos' terrible defense. I
would take Dobbs then for sure.
And then it's Zach Moss versus they play someone really defensive. They play the Browns. I would stay away from Zach Moss.
And then Jonnu.
But Jonnu Smith, man, it's rough because Kyle Pitts is actually getting involved lately. Let me check. Let me check the defensive secondary matchups for Jonnu Smith. The Bucks allow 20. They're 26 in the NFL in passing yards allowed.
Yeah, and Henderson's against the Steelers.
The Steelers are 22nd in the NFL in rushing yards allowed. No, 29th, I'm sorry, in rushing yards allowed. Yeah, I just don't know who's.
It is Royce Freeman and Darrell Henderson versus Steelers.
So Evans out?
Is
Evans out? Chris Evans, the rookie?
It says Rams to lean on Royce Freeman, Darrell Henderson versus Steelers. ESPN, Fantasy Pro.
Zach Evans, that's his name. I don't know. Part of me actually likes Darrell Henderson as sneaky. Definitely Dobbs. I feel more.
I think the most sure.
I feel more comfortable with Darrell Henderson than I do Jonnu, just because of Kyle Pitts. Is it PPR? That makes a difference because Jonnu could technically. What did he do last week? Even with Pitts getting a touchdown and 100 and some yards or 80 yards. Let me pull it up. With Pitts having 4 catches, 43 yards and a touchdown, Jonnu had 4 catches, 36 yards and a touchdown.
Jonnu right now, week 7 projection is 4.2 points.
6 catches, 67. If it's PPR, I'd stick with Jonnu. It's risky, but he's averaging in the last 2 weeks, he's had 10 catches, he's had 100 yards combined, and he's had a touchdown. And we don't know what Darrell Henderson's going to look like right away. So for me, Doc could give you a different opinion, but for me, I would go with Dobbs and
I don't like the Henderson or the Moss matchups at all. So I would lean similar. I think Jonnu might be Dobbs is for sure. He's got to be number one pick there. And I think Jonnu's kind of boomer bust. But if Henderson goes off, then yeah, you might see like a McVay Rams.
Yeah.
Use him more, but I don't know. It's
just so hard with not knowing who they're actually going to lean on the most.
Yeah, you really don't know. So I feel like more risky. I think Jonnu has the potential upside. So I would probably go Dobbs and Jonnu as well.
I'm going to start reading this one. Go ahead and answer that one. You can finish.
No, it's
no,
good.
No, and no. Is there any other options? I definitely not. I could say definitely not AJ Dillon. I'm a Packers fan. This is a camo Packers Clay Matthews jersey. I'm still going to go with no on AJ Dillon. Craig Reynolds is hard because they're going to use him pretty much like they did last week, where he's a blocking back, because they said Dan Campbell said today that they're going to lean on Jahmyr Gibbs. So
yeah, he did come out and say that pretty early today. So I would stay away from Reynolds there.
I just Craig had 10 rushes for 15 yards last week. Like, it was not pretty. But if you have to choose between those three, I feel more comfortable. As weird as it is,
Broncos country, let's ride. God damn.
As weird as it is, because we didn't, we just said not to start him in the other situation. If you have only those three, and thank you so much, Tilly, for the follow. We appreciate it.
Yes. Yes.
And for those who don't know, we are here every Sunday morning before football at 11:30 Eastern time, and then every Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern time to talk about football that just happened. And we talk about Monday Night Football as it happens. But we also talk all the other sports, but, it's football season. But to answer your question, Big Daddy, if those are your options, Darrell Henderson's probably going to be your best out of those. Because A.J. Dillon, I just don't believe in. And Craig, he's facing the number 2 defense, and he's going to be the backup.
Any Rams running back? I mean, that's dicey with the Rams, too, because you don't know.
That's what I'm saying. I just don't. Maybe A.J. Dillon gets a touchdown on 2 carries. I don't know. Or even 8 carries for 12 yards and a touchdown.
All right.
That's a real big rip.
Here's what you do. You assign each one to heads or tails on 2 coins and flip them at the same time.
Tilly, if it helps any, I actually am pretty sure we're almost offensively as bad as you guys.
And I'm a New England fan, so we're in the basement.
So, but I don't have any faith in Jordan Love lately, so I'm I'm one of the realistic Packers fans. It's I know a lot are oh, he's just going through growing pains. I don't see growing pains. I see a guy who just doesn't have what it takes at the next level. Because CJ Stroud should be going through growing pains, and he looks better. Hell, Bryce Young looks better than Jordan Love. So
I feel like we need to mix in some of Jordan Love's athleticism into the plan. Because
I agree.
Because when he can kind of pull off something like that, he's looked pretty good. But his throwing has looked not great lately.
I agree. He's very inaccurate on very makeable passes, and that's driving me insane. But anyway, I don't know who to take in this game. You go ahead and give it to me if you have a pick. But I do know.
This is an easy upset of the day. I'm taking the Lions.
Is this going to be your upset of the day?
Yep. Giants, Colts, or Steelers. So Giants. Let me look at who each team plays real quick.
The Colts play the Browns with Deshaun Watson back. The Steelers play the Rams, and the Giants play the Commanders.
Giants, Colts, or Steelers. The Steelers against the Rams. Are
those your 3 only options? Because if so, I would have to say Colts.
Because Deshaun's playing today though.
I know. Their offense still isn't great. Without Nick Chubb, it's still not elite.
I'd probably take. Man, I don't know because it's like I want to take Pittsburgh, but you got Nakua and Cooper Kupp on the other side, and it's like,
Oh boy, what in the hell?
The Browns,
Rams, or Bears?
The Browns against the Colts.
If you have the Browns defense there, they're the number one rated 100%. Defense.
Take the Browns.
Gardner Minshew is going to throw 3 picks.
Yeah. Anthony Richardson's not playing. I mean, take the Browns 100%. They are a historical defense right now.
In DraftKings, I actually have them as one of my scoring players. I have the Browns defense as one of my scoring players in today's game.
Yeah, I would take the Browns 100%.
Who do I start? Who do I drop to bring Aaron Jones off IR? You definitely want him off IR for today's game, too. He is going to have a big game against the Broncos.
Their run defense has been shit.
This is hard. Chuba Hubbard, Kareem Hunt, Zach Moss, or Joshua Palmer. Not Joshua Palmer because he's now the number 2 in LA. I actually like Josh Palmer a lot today.
Number 2 in Cleveland, right?
I don't know what to call him with that Jerome Ford. Him and him, they're going to split time a lot.
Chuba Hubbard. He's been kind of. I wouldn't drop him right now because if they keep using him, he could go.
Well, with Miles Sanders out, Chuba Hubbard's really valuable. I don't know if he's still out. I haven't paid attention to the Panthers. They're on bye week, so I don't know. I'm between Hunt and Moss. I don't know.
I'm leaning towards getting rid of Hunt.
Yeah, I think Hunt's all boom or bust. I don't think there's any consistency out of Kareem Hunt. And Aaron Jones is such a massive upgrade. I don't think you're losing anything by dropping someone like Kareem Hunt. Because they already said Zach Moss is going to stay part of the offense consistently. And they're going to lean on the run a lot in Indianapolis. The Browns, yes, they lean on the run, but you never know if it's going to be Jerome Ford or Kareem Hunt. So I would drop Hunt.
Yeah, I'd go Hunt.
Hubbard, because that last name sounds
it's Chuba. But it's Chuba.
It's Chuba, who they constantly tell you when you're watching a Panthers game, he's from Canada for some reason. They just have to keep reminding you that, and I don't know why.
Listen, the CFL, Doug Flutie.
But that's not even where he came from.
I know.
I'm taking the Ravens to answer the pick for the day.
All right.
For this game.
Okay.
I think it's going to be a game-winning field goal type situation or a defensive stand to stop a play. But I think if the Ravens want to win this game, though, I will say this: Mark Andrews has to become a lot more productive this week than he has been. Otherwise, I think the Lions honestly could walk away with this game. I will say this is like a couple weeks ago. We said, I don't remember who it was, where it's either going to be a really good game or it's going to be a blowout. I think if there's a chance for a blowout in this game, the Lions have it. I don't think the Ravens are going to do any dominating of this game. I think they will have to win a very physical matchup. But this is also a game I could
go through injuries real quick for Detroit. C.J. Gardner-Johnson on the injured reserve. Craig Reynolds, running back, is expected to suit up but has a hamstring toe injury. Josh Pascal, defensive end, questionable with a knee, was activated from injured reserve on Saturday. Jerry Jacobs, cornerback, questionable due to a knee injury. Marvin Jones Jr., wide receiver, out. Will not travel to Baltimore due to personal reasons. Jonah Jackson, guard, ankle, has been ruled out. David Montgomery, running back, has been ruled out with a rib injury. James Mitchell, tight end, questionable. And that's it for this week.
To answer your question, Jerry Jacobs is out.
Okay, and then for Baltimore, you have Marcus Williams, safety, out. Kevon Seymour, cornerback, out. Sam Mustipher, center, out. Jeremiah Moon, linebacker, out. Josh Johnson, quarterback, out. Malasala Omave Luwalu, out.
There you go. Let's go with that one.
Marlon Humphrey, cornerback, is active against Detroit, even though he's questionable with an illness. Tyus Bowser, linebacker, out with a knee and has yet to return. And that is it for this week.
Same thing as last year, man. Started the year on the fucking pup and still hasn't come back. Tyus Bowser's driving me nuts.
Yeah, that's tough.
But yeah, I'll go Ravens. I don't feel comfortable. I don't think anyone should feel comfortable on either side of this game. That's a reason it's 53% in favor of the Ravens and like
I think if it's a
47.
tight game, the Ravens are favored. If it's a blowout, like if it's going to be a blowout, it's in favor of the Lions.
Yeah, 100% because Jared Goff can blow someone out. Lamar Jackson can't.
Yeah, he just
they just consistently let people.
Statistically, he is better, but their offense they're not a high scoring offense.
They just consistently let people back in the game too, which doesn't help. Raiders. Wait, that's not next, is it? Yeah, it is. Raiders Bears is the next one.
Ooh. Who's starting?
Brian Hoyer.
Hoyer.
Brian Hoyer.
This is crazy. Las Vegas is a 2-point favorite on the road, and the pick'em is 66.4% in favor of the Bears. 33% in favor of the Raiders. Oh, I don't know who I trust less.
Oh, since we didn't say it, you don't have to because you're taking the upset. So obviously you have them covering the -3. I have the Ravens covering exactly at 3 in the last game for those who bet on spreads.
Oh, the old long field goal kick for the win.
Anyway, Raiders are a +2. I'm taking the Bears.
Okay. I'm not sure yet, so let me think about it. Jimmy Garoppolo out with a back injury. Expected to return week 8 in Detroit. Jacorian Bennett, cornerback, out with a shoulder injury, deemed out against Chicago for week 7. Nate Hobbs, cornerback, also out with an ankle injury for week 7. So 2 cornerbacks right there out.
You feeling all right, Lexi?
Roderick Teamer, safety, has been placed on injured reserve as of Wednesday with a hamstring injury. So a little banged up secondary against the Bears. Rookie quarterback, Las Vegas. I'm taking the Raiders.
You are?
Yep. I feel like Hoyer distributes the ball better, and I have a feeling with the whole Devontae Adams thing going on, he's going to see the ball a little bit today.
Well, I don't. You meant better than Jimmy G. Okay.
Yeah.
I assume you have him covering 2 points.
Mm-hmm. Maybe a 3-point win.
I'm going Bears. I'm gonna buy into this guy I have starting in a fantasy league and Taysom Baggett.
I think Max Crosby's gonna ruin that guy's life.
There's a very good chance. Gerald McCoy was going off about how much he loves Max Crosby this morning, but
Shady.
I just want to what? That's
Shady
LaShawn.
I know.
I don't know. I don't know. I feel something weird about this.
Time.
We're gonna get this. We're gonna get Darnell. They're gonna get Darnell Mooney back in the game with this guy. He's gonna actually throw the football. They're gonna get DJ Moore 100 yards because the Raiders have no secondary. I'm rolling with the Bears because I'm gonna buy into some random kid from Shepherd University. Who doesn't love a Division II quarterback?
You're starting to sound like Bill Belichick, and you can see how that's going.
He just got a lucrative multi-year extension. I don't know what you're talking about. I'll take that money.
Listen, after 6 championships in 20 years, you get a little bit of leeway, even if you're shit. He is shit right now, okay?
Yeah.
And to answer your question, Lex, I no, but I just haven't had time. Like, traveling a lot. I'm actually I traveled this weekend. I'm traveling next weekend. Actually, not next weekend, the weekend after. I'm going to the Pats game
He's going to China.
At Gillette. And then I have even more trips planned, and probably February, I might be going to Amsterdam.
Better not miss a Super Bowl.
It doesn't matter to me. I mean, I would just stay up late.
All right, Bucks Falcons is next, and this is another really intriguing matchup. It's in Tampa Bay, 2.5-point favorite to the home team, so a 0.5 point on even turf according to the betting odds. I have no idea.
Which game? I'm sorry.
Bucks Falcons.
Oh, In Tampa Bay, let's see. Pick'em 52.5% in favor of Tampa, 47.1 in favor of the Falcons. Tampa Bay 3-point favorite at home, which doesn't really mean anything. I'm gonna take a quick peek. Let's see what Atlanta's got for injuries. Josh Allen, wide
nice
receiver.
weather.
Oh wow, Atlanta has nothing since October 4th for injuries. So nothing other than what we already know for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Whew. Brandon Walton, offensive tackle, out. Marquise Watts, linebacker, out. David Wells, tight end, out. Derek Pitts, cornerback, out. Patrick O'Connor, defensive end, out. Vita Vea, questionable. That's the big one. He has a foot injury, and he was questionable as of this morning.
All right, check.
Outside of that, no real starters out with injury.
He's playing.
Oof. Atlanta's defense has been playing pretty well. Desmond Ritter's been boomer bust, but so has Baker Mayfield. Wow, this is tough. I feel like Atlanta.
If this helps any, Atlanta's defense is second in total yards allowed, so second best. Fourth best against the pass, 11th best against the run, and 14th somehow against points, regardless of the other things.
Well, your run defense doesn't matter against Tampa because they can't run the ball, so it's your pass defense.
Yeah, and they're second and fourth against the pass.
Ooh. Where does Tampa rank?
26th against the pass, 7th against the run, 7th in points defense, 31st though on third down conversion. The Bucs allow second worst at stopping people on third down. I'll go Falcons.
Yeah. I think I'm going Falcons here simply because of Bijan Robinson.
Yeah, and they're going to say they're going to get Algier. If he can't run the
ball, you can get him in the pass game, and that guy catches just about everything. He catches passes nearly behind his back. So,
yeah, I'm going with Falcons. I think they're obviously they're the healthier team, but they're also, I think right now, regardless that I know we all give
me 1 second.
Desmond. We all give Desmond Ridder a lot of crap, and I know he has the 6 picks, but he also has 300 yards passing more than Baker, which we always say, oh, Desmond doesn't throw the ball down the field. He throws like 100 yards a game. Well, he's got 1,300 yards on the season, so he's throwing the ball a little bit more than we realize. Drake London is a problem, and Bijan being out there and Tyler Algier being out there, Kyle Pitts and Jonnu Smith. He has a lot of weapons to play with. His offensive line is terrible. That's the real problem. It's not Desmond Ridder. They have a terrible offensive line, which might cost them this game. He might get hit too much to be able to actually do what he needs to do with the ball. But I'm going to go Falcons because what I saw out of Baker last week looked like the old Baker. And when the old Baker gets in a rut, he stays in a rut. So he's going to have to prove it to me that he can get back to what we saw to make them whatever they were, 3-1, 4-1. He's going to have to show the reason that they were that. What's up, Oban? How you doing, buddy? We miss you. Miss you, Dan. I'm glad you're back streaming, though. I'm glad life is settling down. Congrats on the new home. I think that was you. That might have been Hit. I'm all over the place trying to keep up with everybody. You're delightful. That's good. It's good. Here, you know what? Since you're back streaming and you need some love, let's do this. It's nice to be a human again. Did you become an android? But no, I'm 100%. I'm going to roll Falcons, and I know Dot said it. So our next game we cover will be. I got to make sure this is the last 1 o'clock. It is the Giants Commanders. A barn burner between Tyrod Taylor and Sam Howell. So I said Tyrod Taylor, so that means you guys should know Daniel Jones is out. Daniel Jones has an incredible record against the Washington Commanders, so that sucks for him that he's out. This is actually the team he does best against, but Tyrod Taylor, besides the last play of the first half last week, actually looked like the better quarterback in New York this season. So that gives me a little bit of faith in the Giants this week, regardless if they're the 3-point dog at home. There's probably a reason for that. Let me pull up, besides Daniel Jones being out. I know Saquon's healthy, but let's pull up injuries to see if there's anything big missing for the Giant G-Man. because they are at home. So being the underdog at home isn't very comforting. Dory Jackson's out. John Michael Schmitz is still out. Evan Neal, Matt Peart, and Andrew Thomas is out. So that is 3 tackles and the center. So that means both starters, Andrew Thomas and Evan Neal, the backup Matt Peart, and the starting center John Michael Schmitz are all out for Tyrod. And then Adoree Jackson's out on the other side of the football. That is a rough go for the Giants entering this division rivalry game, a game they really need to win to get right. And the Commanders, out of starters, worth mentioning, they're only missing no one. They have a very healthy team.
Let's see. 61.4% in favor of Washington, 38.3% in favor of New York for the pick'em. Washington, the 3-point favorite on the road, and I think they can bury the Giants. I think they bury the Giants to the point where they might actually think about trading Saquon.
You could just chill out with the Dot and root for the Chargers. He's rooting for the Chargers.
What you got to do, Oban, is you got to pick the team against the Patriots every week. That way, if they win, you feel good, and if they lose, you know you're right, and you still feel good.
See, that's what he does. And he also always picks the Chargers. So.
Yes.
I don't know. This is a 3-point, like I said, 3-point dog on the Giants here at home. The Commanders are trying to get to 4-3. The Giants are looking to avoid 1-6. This is tough. This is tougher than people think it is because defensively they actually match up evenly in a lot of categories. The Commanders are actually worse against the pass, significantly worse against the pass.
And Tyrod makes the Giants' offense a much better passing offense.
Yes, considering the Giants paid Daniel Jones all that money and they're ranked 31st in the NFL in passing yards, they should look at themselves a little in the inside internally on their own decisions. But Saquon being there, Tyrod being able to throw the ball to Darren Waller and Darius Slayton. Today's tight end day, so Darren Waller's probably going to have a day. No, I'm just kidding. George Kittle's the only one that actually has a day on tight end day, and he doesn't play today.
I'll say my pick I'm taking Washington.
Taking the Commanders. This might be my upset of the week. I'm trying to think about it.
Yeah, I just got to go let my dog back in. Give me 1 second.
You're good. He's got the Commanders, so -3. This is tough. My gut's telling me Commanders, but my heart for Tyrod Taylor because I love that dude so freaking much. Loved him as a Ravens backup for Joe Flacco. Loved him as a starter for the Bills. Thought he got the shit end of the deal when they drafted Baker in Cleveland. So I'm a big Tyrod guy, but I'm going to go Commanders. In the end, I think Sam Howell will do enough. We miss you a lot, Dan. I was actually curious if you were all right, but I didn't really know who to ask. So I just kind of let it be. I was like, he'll reach out. He knows how to get a hold of me. So I was just like, Dan will reach out to me if anything's wrong. I mentioned it once in Grizzlies stream when me and him were playing DVD together. I asked him if he'd heard from you. And he said not much. So I just didn't. I was like, he's probably just busy. I mean, I know you got, your kids, your dog, your job. It's a busy life. But all right, I'll go Commanders. I don't know who my upset of the fucking week's going to be yet. I'm struggling with it. I'm not doing what Dot's about to do at the 4:00 slot. So we got the 4:00 games. We won't have all the injury updates. We've got starters. If anyone has fantasy questions about starters or any other fantasy questions, you guys got about 20 minutes, 25 minutes till game time. So ask away. We love fantasy questions. But 4:00 games, we start with Arizona and Seattle. Seattle being a 9.5-point favorite at home. I will say for good reason, I'm taking the Hawks.
Let's take a look at it. I mean,
Metcalf is a game time decision.
I don't think that really matters because you'd have Bobo.
I have Bobo scoring in DraftKings today.
I think the Arizona Cardinals are on their free fall from grace. Seattle's a 9.5-point favorite, 79.6% on the pick'em, 20.2% in favor of Arizona. I don't know if Seattle covers the 9.5, but I'll take them to win the game.
Division rivalry. I don't know if I don't have them covering it.
I mean, the over-under is 44. I feel like Seattle could definitely shut them down, but 9.5 is a lot. And Seattle's, I don't want to say Seattle's been inconsistent, but they have had weeks where they just don't put up the points you think they should have.
You don't have to say it. I'll say it for you. They've been inconsistent. No, I'm single dad life. Be busy as fuck. Plus the largest backlog of work we've ever had as a company and the smallest workforce.
Yeah, that's companies maximizing profit, baby. Capitalism at its finest.
The FDC, they suck dick. I don't know if that's who it is, but I just want to criticize everything about the FTC every time I can after they tried to block the Microsoft Activision deal. Oh, okay. Well, I can't criticize them.
I mean, you can criticize both of them.
I've got friends in multiple.
I have friends in both. I don't give a shit. You can criticize both of them. Fuck off. You can watch me do naked lunges in front of my camera when they're spying on me.
And I work for a DC agency, so I can't technically say much. Seattle. I'm not having them cover the spread, though. I think Arizona.
Yeah, I don't think I think they might win by a touchdown, but I mean they could obviously cover the spread. But I'm definitely.
It could be a 10-point game, but I'll take But I'll take Arizona to at least. I'll say Arizona loses by 6. And yeah, I'll take Seattle to win the game. The next 4:00 game. This is where I'm warning people. Fantasy worry is out the wazoo. I don't like anyone in this game but Cooper Kupp. Steelers, Rams in LA. The only person I feel comfortable with is Cooper Kupp. The running backs in LA, I just don't know. Like next week, since Kyren got added to the IR, which we should have expected, because regardless that Sean McVay said it's not a big injury, he'll be back, he'll be okay. Regardless that he said all that, Kyren Williams is a Notre Dame grad, and he's got to get his 4 games out of the way. So easiest way to do it, quick IR stint. He got it out of the way.
I'm not about that movement just today. It's all the time, for sure.
So to help Kyren Williams get his 4 games requirement that the NFL requires when they get Notre Dame players out of the way, he's going on the IR. So next week, we'll actually have an idea of what Rams running back we can trust because they're playing a Steelers defense. So whoever they feel more comfortable in, whoever you see more production out of, is probably who Sean McVay is going to lean on because Sean McVay is a good offensive-minded guy. Now, that being said, today I would, as long as you don't need them, I would take a seat back on both everybody in the backfield. And I honestly am a little nervous about Puka Nacua because last week we saw what happened. Cooper Kupp is still Cooper Kupp, and they're having a hard time now getting anyone else involved in this offense. Now that could change because last week we also saw Kyren Williams have 100 and something yards, so that could change now. But that being said, I'm going to go Rams because Kenny Pickett still is Kenny fucking Pickett.
All right. We got a question in quick.
Curtis Samuel or Gabe Davis?
Wait, maybe not.
I was going to say Gabe Davis.
Ignore my immediate answer.
Or Curtis Samuel against the Giants, right?
Yeah.
Let me look at the matchups. I need to see who Curtis Samuel is being covered by. I used to say it was going to be Emmanuel Forbes, but they held him out for an entire game last week, so they might actually be teaching him a lesson. So give me a minute. Let me or not Emmanuel Forbes, sorry. With Adoree Jackson out, I need to know who's playing for the Giants secondary today, so give me a second.
All right. I'm going to go.
Stop, Harley. Should be Darnay Holmes with Adoree Jackson out. Oh, man. Oh.
I'm going to go Gabe Davis here.
Darnay Holmes is garbage, but Curtis Samuel is so boomer bust. So is Gabe Davis. The Giants are 16th against the pass. I don't even want to know what the Patriots are against the pass. 12th still against the pass, even after all their obliterations.
Yeah, but they're going to keep sliding with all those injuries.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's by a large margin, but I think it's Davis.
Davis, 341 with 4 touchdowns on the season. And Curtis Samuel is 285 with 2.
Like I said, I think this Bills Pats game might be a 41-6 game. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Gabe Davis just because I honestly think the Commanders Giants might be a defensive game. It might be like a 16-12 game or something. So I'll go Gabe Davis. It's tight, but I'll go. Is it PPR?
Yeah, PPR is the way we think.
I still think Gabe Davis, even if it's not PPR, but because I think he'll be good for a touchdown with the Bills, Patriots, because the Patriots are just sliding so hard. And the Giants defense did hold the Bills pretty steadily last week, so they might be able to do the same against the Commanders this week, considering they don't have the same type of offense.
And I'd expect the Bills to bounce, right? Like,
yeah, I'll go Gabe
Davis.
With
a good game plan.
It's tough. It's a very tough comparison because they're both. Thanks for the follow, Joe. We also appreciate that greatly.
Appreciate that. And thank you for the question.
I will. Yeah, we love fantasy questions, but I will lean Gabe Davis just slightly. It's going to be tough, but I think Gabe will probably, with how bad the Patriots have been, I could see a touchdown. I can't say I can see a touchdown on the Commander side of the ball because the Giants did really well against the Bills last week. So I like what I saw out of the Giants defense. So, but that's a good one. I like that a lot. Anyway, who you going? Rams, Steelers. I'm going Rams. I just Kenny Pickett is still Kenny Pickett.
Rams might not be able to run the ball well. Oh God. Give me 1 second. They beat Baltimore, but they got smoked by Houston. I mean, they beat the Cleveland defense too. But that was really a defensive game.
And division rivalry games are always different.
Lost to Philly, beat Indy, lost to Cincy, lost to San Fran. Give me the Steelers.
Okay. Sticking with your pick before the season. That's one of the few you've done today. You've actually reversed a lot of them.
I know, and I was really good preseason numbers. Like, it's so hard.
You're only actually 3 away from your preseason now.
Okay. Maybe I'm getting smarter as I get older. I'm not sure. I have 2 brain cells and they're fighting for third place. We'll figure it out along the way.
But yeah, I'll go Rams, and I think they cover the 3.5. I just don't. Kenny Pickett is so bad, and until they show me they're done with Najee Harris, I'm not touching the Steelers side. If they give him like 10 carries before they use the other guy, I'm just gonna be mad. I'm gonna be like, all right, well, I switched my pick in my head because it's like, have you seen him run? He literally runs with cement blocks tied to his feet. Like, what? Yeah, if Jalen Warren ain't your guy at this point, you're just not doing something right.
Yeah. But here's the thing. What you need to know about the Steelers is they just historically stick with guys because obviously they're sticking with Tomlin. So, like, I feel like it's just kind of the mentality in Pittsburgh is like, stick with our guys. It's like, well, he sucks.
Omar Epps is a good actor, though.
Runs like Drew Bledsoe. He probably runs more like Tom Brady, to be honest.
I was going to say Peyton Manning. Today.
Yeah.
All right, next one. I'm gonna just get it out of the way. Packers Broncos. This is the last week I'm gonna pick the Packers. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I thought you said that last week.
I can't pick the Packers. I can't pick the Broncos. I just can't do it. They're a train wreck.
All right, bro.
They're so far gone. They're just so far gone. There's nothing good going on in Denver. The Packers are a 1-point favorite on the road.
So technically a 4-point favorite.
I am
The
taking
over-under
them
being
to-
44.5 is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, let's see. Defensively, the Packers are 9th against the pass. They're terrible against the run. The Broncos are dead last against the run and 30th against the pass.
Well, that's what happens when you give up 70, bro.
The Packers are 7th against third down conversions. The Broncos are 18th in third down conversion stoppages. And offensive statistics are actually fairly even, sadly. But Aaron Jones is back. He says he feels like he did at the beginning of the season. So I'm rolling with the Packers because of Aaron Jones, not because of Jordan Love. I'm going to say Aaron Jones gets 120 today and 2 touchdowns and carries the Packers on his back and brings them to a dub.
All right, give me 1 second to think about this.
What? Kyle Brandt thinks that December 24th should be National Aaron Rodgers Day.
Why?
He's calling that Aaron will come back for the Christmas Eve game.
That's terrible.
Which is the same day that Johnny Unitas tore his Achilles in 1971.
I mean, if the script writers are at it, for sure.
Now, Kyle Brandt's an idiot. He just says things angrily and gets famous off of it. He's not really that intelligent, but he gets fame. He yells and screams. So,
Packers are 1-3 in their last 4. Beat the Saints 18-17. Broncos look terrible on defense.
Roschon Johnson.
Oh, man. I feel like each quarterback could sink their team here.
100,000,000%.
I'm going to lean on Green Bay with just the better defense and the better run game. I'm not comfortable doing it, but I feel like
I'm going to be very honest.
It comes down to who throws less interceptions.
You got to do it on camera, Oban. Like way more often than just DVD. You got to or whatever other games you've been playing. You got to do it you got to do it about something people really care about. Like you got to do it about sports or like politics, which I would never talk about. But
I would 100%. I would talk politics with anybody. I will take any position and debate from that position, whether it's a winning or losing position. I fucking love doing that.
Yeah, see, I won't do it.
I do it against my own 80-year-old grandmother, just because she's old.
There you go. See, there you go. And then just start yelling and screaming and just make it. You got to make bold statements that really are unbelievable, but at the same time, people are like, "Wow, that could actually happen," even though reality tells me it's not going to happen.
Honestly,
people buy in.
If you want to win the argument, you got to fall somewhere between Alex Jones and Don Vito.
All right, let's get to the next game because we're running low on time and there's still 3 left. And I don't know how long you're going to take to make a decision in this one. I'm assuming about 10 seconds because I think you already have a pick. But let's go to it. Chargers Chiefs. Statistically, Justin Herbert's 1-4 against the Chiefs, regardless that in every single game he has outplayed Patrick Mahomes in all of their matchups 1-on-1. He is still losing all of those games because, unfortunately for him, his head coach is his head coach.
This is a battle of the two teams who can't score in the red zone.
The Chiefs just can't score. You know they're desperate when you trade for Mecole Hardman after letting him leave. Oban,
I'll message you my answer after this. I don't want to say it here.
Yeah, I don't have any comment or any opinion. So, I don't know. This is really hard for me to pick. The crazy thing is that the Chiefs are a 6-point favorite.
I mean, against this Chargers defense, though?
Yeah, but the Chiefs haven't played anybody well. Every single game they've played has been a 1-score game.
But they've won.
But they're not 6-point games.
Listen, 7 points is a 1-score game. 6 points is a one-score game.
Like even the Broncos was, I mean, that was their biggest win. Okay, never mind. I forgot they played the Bears.
Now they
I don't know.
they did lose to the Lions, but I feel like the Lions defense is much better than the Chargers.
Though the Chargers defense either showed up last week or the Cowboys really are that bad.
No, I don't. I think the Cowboys are bad. I don't think they're that bad. I think the Chargers defense actually stood up well against them. Again, you have 4 or 5 trips to the red zone where you walk away with like 6 points. Like,
well,
come
the
on.
Chargers also did it to themselves. 4th and 1 from the 7-yard line, and you go for it and fail when you could have kicked a field goal and tied it.
But they also picked horrible plays, so that like the Kellen Moore thing to me is just strange, right?
Yeah. Have you guys talked about the Taylor effect on Kansas City? Yes.
Yeah, 400% increase in jersey sales. People asking questions who don't know what a field goal is, and having to sneak Taylor out of fucking stadiums in
and Travis Kelce buying a new home where he would have, quote unquote, as he said it, more privacy is the reason he bought the new home. He dropped $3.5 million on a new home just to have more privacy. So the Taylor Swift effect is definitely happening. But it is also the lowest points per game in Patrick Mahomes' career as of right now for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Don't forget, the Eagles also have a Kelce Swift. Okay.
Yeah, their Kelce Swift is good though.
Why would you do that?
I bought a chick Taco Bell last night.
Well, glad you sent her to the toilet, bro.
I mean, I said yesterday when I was playing Apex, and I'm going to be 100%, not Apex, Diablo. Sorry, I'm not used to not.
We were done.
I'm not used to not playing Apex, but I said it yesterday when I was playing Diablo. I would do some naughty things for some Taco Bell. So,
statistically speaking, the ingredients they use are some of the highest in the fast food industry.
Yeah.
So don't forget that. And the best part is at 2:00 in the morning when you go through a Taco Bell drive-through, there could be a stacked Mercedes, 2 people on a fucking scooter, 2 people in a Chevy Cobalt, and all are there to live Moss.
I mean, like I said, like if I'm not going to a nice restaurant, like I'm talking even chain restaurants, like Texas Roadhouse and shit, I'd rather have Taco Bell. I don't know what it is. I'd rather have Taco Bell because you know what? Their menu changes and they add things and take things out of their menu every fucking month. And I appreciate that more than anyone can imagine.
Yeah. But if they ever take potatoes away again, I'm throwing a fucking riot. And I don't know.
I don't know what that decision was. I don't know what that decision was. So the Chargers have to win this game to have any shot of any glimpse of the postseason. But I think if they lose this game, we could be talking tomorrow evening about Brandon Staley being jobless tomorrow evening. And I'm going to take the Kansas City Chiefs.
No, it's not happening. They're going to lose this game. Kansas City, I'm taking. And he's still going to have a job. Now, whether Kansas City covers the 6.
Are you taking the Chiefs?
I said that, but I'm not sure now.
I'm taking the Chiefs to win by 13. So I'm taking them win by 6.
Oh, another first-time chatter with a question. Start Kareem Hunt versus the Colts or Deontay Johnson versus the Rams?
Yikes.
Ooh, that's tough.
Shit, I didn't know Deontay was back. Give me a second. I'm going to do a quick second of research.
Yeah, I'm doing the same thing. Let's see.
I don't like giving you guys plain answers.
Deontay Johnson back, though, with Kenny Pickett and playing against the Rams could get some use for sure.
Yeah, the Rams are...
I don't really like the matchup. I feel like Kareem's got the better matchup against Indy, but...
Kareem also timeshares, which I don't like.
Yeah.
And
Deontay
Indy is...
When was Deontay... Do you know when he was he activated yesterday? Like, did he practice at all this week?
I don't know. He has 3 catches for 48 yards on the season, which I was unaware of.
I know, but he... Let me see when he was activated. 1 day ago. So he hasn't really seen much. I mean, he's obviously been in like the room and maybe they were planning for it.
And Matt Canada is still Matt Canada, so he knows the playbook.
He was
Is it
designated.
PPR?
Okay, so the 21st.
I'm going to ask if it's PPR.
Yeah, PPR makes a hell of a difference. Okay, PPR it is.
Does anyone do standard anymore? Because I'm appreciative of all the PPR.
Yeah, I would
really
say Deontay Johnson in the PPR league.
Yeah, I mean, Josh Dobbs got 3 different receivers the ball 4 times or more last week against the Rams defense. So Kenny Pickett can do it. I would take Deontay Johnson. It's not by a large margin, but I would say you could see potentially a 5-catch, 50-yard game out of Deontay Johnson. That's 10 points. And if he gets a touchdown, there's another 6. Kareem Hunt is complete boom or bust. He's either going to have one of those big 15-yard touchdown runs or he's going to be bottled up for like 7 carries for 12 yards. Like there's no in between with Kareem Hunt.
I think you have a better shot at you're probably looking at like 4 catches, 50 yards, possible touchdown. I think with Kareem Hunt, you're looking at,
and Tesco agrees,
maybe 1 catch, obviously like 30, 40 rushing yards, and there's a possibility of a rush TD, but I don't see it against Indy. I see more of a touchdown in the favor of Deontay Johnson, so I would take Johnson here myself.
Yeah, because the best corners are going to be, because that's going to be the different thing this year we're not used to seeing. And we appreciate you as well for coming in with a fantasy question.
Is out. Deontay Johnson back. Pickens will be the number 1, so he's going to get the.
Yeah, that's the thing. Deontay's not used to seeing. We could see a breakout at half of the season for Deontay against. He's always faced the number 1 corners because he's been the top receiver. Now Pickens is. So now we get to see Deontay Johnson against your 2 or 3, depending on how banged up the secondary is. So yeah, Deontay Johnson has some big potential now.
We got another question, and from YouTube, Bryce Ridley says Brian Johnson or Aaron Jones. I'm in a pickle. I'm going Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones, 100%.
Especially if it's PPR, 1,000,000%, because Aaron's going to get the ball caught. I mean, he's, I think, one of 2 Packers ever to have multiple receiving touchdowns and rushing touchdowns in a game. I'm going Aaron Jones.
Yeah,
it's the Broncos, so I'm going Aaron Jones. Now, if this was more of a matchup, Brian Robinson has been pretty damn good this year, but they keep bringing in. I don't know why they keep bringing in Antonio Gibson.
Gibson, you're right. Yeah, and he saw a big share last week, and he produced. So you're probably going to see less out of Robinson this week.
I'm all in on Aaron Jones. He said he's healthy. He says he feels like he did week 1. And we know how good he is when he's healthy against the Broncos defense that has allowed more rushing yards than anybody else in the league. I'm going with Aaron Jones.
Oh, we got to get our ass moving here.
Yeah, it's 12:57. All right. You didn't pick yet. Chiefs, Chargers.
6 points on the Chiefs. God, you know what? I'm going against my gut here. Give me the Chargers.
I knew it was coming.
Yeah, it had to. Come on now. I have like blind faith, right?
Sunday Night Football, my upset of the week. I'm taking the Dolphins.
Oh, that is such a good pick too. Man, that is such a good pick. I feel like they are poised to beat the Eagles here, but 5-1.
Oh, and to show how confident I am in the Packers being carried by Aaron Jones, since I forgot to do one, you haven't done one yet either. My lock of the week is the Green Bay Packers. But I know you're probably going to take the next game, Monday Night Football, probably.
No, I'm not going to take that one. No, I feel like that was too easy. I feel like this one's easy too. Fuck.
We didn't take Browns Colts. I somehow skipped it. We got 3 games left.
Give me the Browns.
Okay. I'm taking the Browns as well, but that's because of that defense.
Yeah.
Tesco, if the Packers lose to the Broncos, at this point, just put in Sean Clifford and see what the hell we have. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I've seen people say Michael Penix drops to like 22nd in the draft. I'm all in on taking him next year in the draft. I 100% am in.
I'm following my philosophy. Lock of the week, Bills.
Lock of the week, Bills. All right. Anyway, Sunday night football. Sorry, Eagles, Dolphins.
Eagles, Dolphins. Give me the Eagles.
You're going with the Squeakles.
Eagles to cover.
You're gonna have them cover the 3.
Mm-hmm. Well, they got to win by a field goal, right? Oh, I guess they could win by a safety.
Or they could just win by a point.
That's true.
But that's interesting. All right. Again, guys, we're here Monday nights as well. We talk about everything that you saw happen today. We watch all the games. We don't miss football, unless we have something else going on, but it's very rare. And at least one of us is always here to watch football. We love sports. Me and Dot, for those who are new here, are very good with fantasy football. We're both multiple year champions in different leagues in our league. We've both won. We've only been active for 3 years. This is the 3rd. Me and Dot are the reigning back. Me year 1, Dot year 2. So
you can come challenge us any year.
Yeah, we always welcome our viewers.
I'm 6-0 right now. I'm 6-0.
We welcome our viewers to play fantasy football with us and join us. We're trying to grow. We just started really actually focusing on growing. I have started making clips and stuff to put online. I struggle because I struggle with self-image issues, I'll be honest. So I don't like to post my clips, so I tend to hesitate. But anyway, Dolphins, Eagles. He's taking Eagles. I'm taking Dolphins. I know where the and 49ers, Vikings tomorrow night. It's too easy to say 49ers. Yeah, it's too easy. Football is starting. We try to get it over with by about 12:50, but we sometimes run late because we like to chit-chat.
We had a lot of questions today. That was good.
We love it. We love the questions.
Yes.
So we're here every Monday night at 8, every Sunday at 11:30 Eastern time. They're always Eastern times. We are looking to open more nights. If anyone wants to join the show and you've ever wanted to be part of Sports Talk and just talk sports, anybody's welcome anytime, any of our shows. Always welcome to join us. Anyway, I don't know if we have anyone live. Oban, are you by chance live?
No. Odin's playing Dead by Daylight though.
Who?
Odin, one of the guys from my Discord group.
I'm not in your Discord, ho.
I know. It's not my Discord. It's somebody else's, but Odin _912.
Okay, hold on a minute. My brain has to register what you just said. All right, Odin. We're going to raid out. We'll be back tomorrow night for those who don't know. Raid Odin _912.
He's playing with Michi, and it looks like 2 randoms.
Y'all just miss Grizz. We tend to miss Grizz. It's very rare.
He generally finishes right around noon on the weekends, so we
know he likes to run a little late at times. But we very rarely catch him.
I think we caught him last week.
And he played one game and then rated himself because he was getting off. But it worked out. We gave it to Grizz to pass it on, so that works. All right. We love you guys. We'll be back tomorrow night, as always, Monday night, 8 o'clock. And we will catch you all then. We appreciate everybody new, the follows, the subscribes on YouTube, the questions. We love it. We love talking sports. You guys don't have to ask questions. If you just want to come in and just even not join us on live, you want to just type in chat and just talk sports and tell us opinions and questions about non-fantasy, we're here to discuss those too.
During the week, if you got a Thursday night question, send us a message. Doesn't matter. We'll answer.
And even if it's not football, other sports, you want to talk, even if you have fantasy hockey questions, if anyone's a hockey guy.
I've been watching cricket, Rugby World Cup.
Oh, yeah. By the way, Rugby World Cup next Saturday. It is South Africa versus the All Blacks of New Zealand. It will be the greatest World Cup final I've ever going to watch in rugby. So for those rugby fans, get ready for some excitement. Anyway, let's get some football going. We love you guys.
Love you. Enjoy the football.
Oh, well, that was a lot. Did it raid?
I don't see it yet. Yes.
All right, I got to get in there now. Hold on.
Yes,
I don't have